Before we start this afternoon, I wanted to go back to your question about the how it's all psychology. So the emotions and the psychological flourishing is all one.
The gomasu konlara unlike right to a time bangola. Sem come the yongsur ledu gonzo chick do tungu dus lara. Dilodu and the didishi gay insa. The yongsur the sem come corseswa. Did some karina to your lona, sem come not to your res. Sem come ribona to your res.
So I just want to explain it a little bit better, a little bit more clearly. In the West, we see psychology as a large branch of science.
That's heriki yala chimbu see your res sem come ripalana.
And then we break psychology up into emotions, thoughts, behaviors, motivations.
Ani sem come ribadila in descendo yo chigures, chig dit and that sem sorche, ani samluta di che torche, any behavior shiju that indilani, any gulonglani, yo chigures.
And then when researchers study psychology, they'll look at specific areas of psychology.
Dilado ani sem come ribana la da ko dugu na susu kharito shimju chigena, niela dige lan koranzula wachangures.
So this particular study was looking at the branch of emotions and the branch of beliefs.
The thanda dido chasho na kharikol psychology thanda semkham ribon and the chugures chik di kharinandare semsor the do chaguras chik di ni je khari chigyo me samlo the do jura dinan chudures.
But what researchers are starting to realize is that emotions, thoughts, beliefs, actions, motivations, they all work together.
The in a simcom ribo Horansu Karisam Gurlauna, Semsor da, Samlo da, Ije da, and that Shiju the Ditsama, Chik the Chik George Hadio, the Habu rest.
Does that make sense?
Seucha says.
Yeah, okay.
So that means emotion is a branch of psychology?
Yes.
Res.
Yes, yes, yeah. So thank you. I had to think about it over lunch.
The initial person go to some lutan dance the corla.
So, okay.
Okay, leave it, she said.
Okay, all right, okay. Okay, so now we're going to look at some other ways that scientists study kindness. And of course, as usual, they go back to our ancestors, the primates, to see what kind of behaviors they exhibit.
Tanda chamze da dende golaya seribai tachimang bu chiyura chik ngonjoi tanda maran sugita mebo dosha hoina tanda diru tamirik chagura dendel tawres tachichores.
Again, with the belief that if the primates exhibit this kind of behavior, that would be kindness, that the idea is that we too have these deep biological roots in us for the same capacity for kindness.
Tanda tamirik jura denjugi shijo tena chamze da de tuen jura koran sugi dende shijo tungu yoina Dida Kari New Chadurlana, draw me new chira, Dido Chadurlani, Digala Tachi the Shimju in the Chigures.
And of course, one way that primates show kindness to each other is this act of grooming.
Dila do any Koran Sugit and the Digi Pala Chamze to Jura, Dida grooming Lana Tadoro Yabuchi Chitsa Jelani, the day Shiju Tungu Res Koransi.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you a video of a monkey who you'll see this takes place in India at a railway station, and you'll see that the monkey is trying to save another monkey that had gotten electrocuted.
That and the dinal Karitungur Lawan and the longi the Kans Toigir, Gahana Chungjoj rest and the Megor Pabzura, Ditch had the rest. Any dinal Harchidulana, Chick de la Logi Dichini, Logi Junim. That never had the Pius, the never had the Pius and Bachi Robochi de Jura, the any long in the Dungres, the Gahana res.
So, as a scientist would watch a video like this, they might ask the question, why would a monkey be motivated to actually save the life of another monkey? So, I'm going to ask you to go in with that same question. Think about why would a monkey be motivated to save the life of another monkey?
That the long in the Tondugala, Kachigure, Piuchi, Shemba de Robochigura. The robot cheta Sokyo Tapshi Chigures, the Chidukala, Seriboran Sultua, Harligur Launa, the robot che Kulon Jura, Punal, the Candice Ligure, Carchini Relager, the Tua de Ligures.
monkey has saved the life of another monkey that had fallen unconscious after being electrocuted in northern Indian town of Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. The incident took place at the Kanpur railway station. The monkey was electrocuted and fell on the railway tracks unconscious while walking on the high-tension wires at the station. A fellow monkey spotted the poor primate and toiled hard for almost 20 minutes to revive it. The monkey tried to revive its injured friend by repeatedly biting, hitting, and tipping it in the water.
Chuna lu do sada.
Its efforts finally paid dividends and the injured animal was able to walk away from the railway tracks.
All right, so really an extraordinary act of kindness done by a primate.
Di thanda tami richa dora da piu dinzo. Dinzo yani Quran sui chamza da dewe Quran sui tuen so asta shijudi.
So what might be the reasons that a primate would actually do that for another primate?
Da tuwa di khar lana piu chigi piu shimbal di chira da chamza di tuen roas di shijudi. Di khar chin chires. So piu tabshi chida. Zewa yore. Because of love.
Because of love, yes. They're finding that animals have emotions.
So they work in groups, that's why.
Ah, okay, right,
They have
yes.
that groupism.
Right, yes, exactly. So that idea of keeping the group alive.
Dili so di ta thanda chopa dojora di takta nya di tabshi chigi roas sama ruru ching digi roas.
Exactly. So scientists would watch a video like this and they say, okay, if a monkey has the capacity to do this, then we as humans also have this extraordinary capacity within us to be kind to others.
That seri ba Quran sui dil tani kharishir lawana piu rig thanda di tami rig denzo ge thanda Quran sui chamza da den shiju tuen thu yo aina ngara su mil da yin da yilan di Quran sui di shires.
So, but then scientists, they don't stick to just primates. They also look at very, very young children.
Ta thani ngwe di khare tami rig piu dil ta shira taji chini. Ta dinan si thanda Quran sui taji sa kha cha dirlan pugulo chunju ni dendel taji shires.
So this is a particular researcher who does experiments with children who are range in the age from 11 months to 14 months.
Dile de ta di Quran nyamship chinge di cha de res unju ma ku ngish do. Am Quran gi nyamship chesa kha cha go lana pugu chunju thanda dawa chukji logic masimgon lawra dawa chukji ni dawa chupshi para di pugu ri jura digel ani Quran gi nyamship chigi res.
And the reason he does experiments with children that young is to see what their capacity for kindness and compassion is because that's before the children have actually been socialized with other children.
Dile de tuzo dile du gala pugu den zuina lo chamji gi shiju khande me jura chamda jawa di tho ta yo res khailan tuzo digas ne en pugu 지존날 파주 되어 제 두주지도 디고 주고 요러스.
So, so it's easier for us to tell whether or not we have an innate capacity for kindness when we work with children this young.
딜레드다 보고 춘주 덴데지 임바네 나라주의 낭로라 하려라는 랑시기 잠재다 덴데 시주지기라 디게 개주된 주 열을라는 시기요레스.
So I'm going to show you again a video that's a series of I think about 4 experiments, and I'd like you just to, as you watch them, just observe, you know, what can we learn from these videos, but also what questions might still remain for researchers.
따디 카레 단다 롱이 디 림바도 시둥그레라스 시디나 키란스 카레타고 올라오나 단다 디 균엔 카리카리 잠재다 저 카리 싱도 더낭 카리 중도 안 태하나시 디따 세여jel라 디 롱이 디 차차여jel라 지와 하시스 라이라야 다 냠시바딘 졸 지와 카리 카리레 시르란데 디 도삼로 담로 치스 투난치스.
And again, this is the researcher, and this obviously is the child, and this is the child's parent.
다 단다 디 카레 수조 디 용이 디 온주마 흥이 디 냠십 칭에 호란 제 세르바디 체 거기 보고 따지 지사 보고 디 체 보고 디 파마 찍 레스디.
Oh. Oh. So. So. Einmal hier, einmal. Oh. Ja. So. Hä? Oh. 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 Ah, super, kann ich wieder umpusten.
One more. Okay. Anyway, but that's essentially that's essentially what the experiments are. So what I'd like you to do right now is just in your table of groups, just talk with each other. What did you observe, and what can we learn about kindness in ourselves, and what questions might still remain for researchers after doing these experiments?
단다 따지 통사 디나 카리카리 심바데 디나 케란스 되난 카리 중에 잠재다 되어라 디코르 마티로 치스 아니 그래 디나라 잠재코르 카리카리 뚱게 메디 소주 삼지디 마티로 타나시 아니 디 따지 균에 아니 세르바 단다 냠십 싱에 코란솔 티와 카리카리 하데르 라주라 디게 코르 마티로 케란스 투두르 치로 치스 로가로가나
Okay, so let's go ahead and come back together, and I'd like to hear from maybe 2 or 3 groups. What were your thoughts, your responses to these experiments?
다 단다 따지 카시스 통라 케란스 딜 아니 케란스 야린 카리카리 메 삼수다 딘데코르 아니 루가니 숨니 시로 치스 미직직 샤니라 시다 kyan studu chi ba studu chi yo chi u la ri lan la
tanda di tan ni no tanda popo ta ra ni ba che ki la san nam ta tos ni ta ku cha la sa te ko ni manyo ko ni cha ko ba che ki to
So we saw that the child has the motivation to help others because we saw that when things were falling from top, he tries to pick them up and help the other person.
Right, yes. So that tells us that, that actually is in all of us, that innate capacity to be motivated to help others.
Di la duta shin la robo che kulong jura di ni rangshi gi kedu ni yor la jura dinde jur la ni shi yor was dinde yo cha gu dos di tani
Right, exactly. Anything else? Any other
robo che kulong
observations?
jura di rangshi gi yor la ni di seuch tongu dos di ni ti tani di long di tani
Any other observations?
lenge la jura lenge yor la di.
One question that came up for the researchers was, does having the parent present in the room make a difference with the child?
An tiwa chi kyolas dikhar la na thanda khoran zu ta chi sa khangba do jina chi do di chi du pu di phama yo na re me na re dil khaba su des phama yo mela it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, and that's actually what they discovered. They redid some of these experiments without the parent in the room, and they found that the child was, again, motivated to help naturally.
Dilo di phama yo mela ma de ba ni pu di khoran kulong hari la na shin la ro pa che di mu thu ni che di do as phama yo na re me na re khaba yo maras.
Hold on. You want to watch the rest of them?
Di mu thu ni tan de do las ti mu
All of a sudden got going again. Okay, we'll watch this one. So in this particular one, the researchers wanted to introduce a distraction for the child.
thanda di nyam ship chesh da ta ji na kha chi lo na pu di na ya thap shi chi yo res na yang tu be gi
Because they wanted to see if the child would actually help the person if there was something else that was taking their attention away. Because in the other experiments, the child was just watching the experimenter, and so the attention was on the researcher.
chik di na ya thap shi chi yo la ra chik di na khari yo la na khang ba ta chi sad na khari yo la na pu di ta de res khol ta sa khol ta yo lo nyam ship ching ye jora khora rang la thuna chik chi ne ni ta de res.
So this is a little confusing, but this object right here is actually a kind of toy.
ta di seo shira thong mun da sa di par di seo shiram da ine de ngom bu ro thong da tu shi ro di khar la na chi mu je pu i che che res.
So that's what they're going to do, is they're going to try to distract the child with the toy, where this woman is going to drop her pen.
ta di jo na la na ya thap shi chi yo la ra di na ya di khari cha de la na che che di res pa jo di na khari chi yo la na pe la ki me shi thong do as mo marang kha chi yo la na nyu gu ma yu gu res ka ni.
So then they're going to see if the child, while he's distracted by the toy, will actually help the woman who dropped her pen.
di lo du khang ba chik na re da ta na ya gi thap shi khari chi yo la na khon jo che che di sha ra di gen pu di na ying thu de ta yu res khais na phai di nyu gu di ma sa ra sa du ya li ni khorang ya sha ro ba chi du ya na na wa thana che che di na ying du di ta yu res.
So I'll show you.
Ein Brief. Und zwar an meine Oma. Pass mal auf. Hoi.
Willst du noch was Pling machen? Ja. Bitte schön.
Je. So, jetzt kann ich den Brief an meine Oma schreiben.
So because of these experiments, there's a large body of researchers who are saying that this capacity for kindness and compassion in us is actually stronger than our tendency for competition, for greed, for the negativity.
ta thanda di ta chi gun khari nyo re chamje da din re shi ju du ni ni lenge yor la ju ra di shi ju ri ke ju ri do dige thanda ngaju da semsur duga ro cha shaw na ngaju tendur che da dinde tensim jura dingi durwana dige rig de shuk che erlani koranju ni res.
And this kind of idea is really a paradigm shift in the West in terms of how we view human beings.
Tila duta thanda nupcho gi tadang jura thanda domshi roji susu milana to milana khande jumi di tadang di khali khali kyo dugo res.
For several centuries, there's been a belief in the West that human beings, it's about survival of the fittest. So it's who wins, it's about competition, it's about greed, it's about making sure that you survive at all costs.
Nima imbaina samsu khar kyu launa su thangshu da desho imbaina di thopgure la jora da ni thure chone chi thurlan dirang shi ras dila du tensim da dinde che ani khaduna dungam da dinde gi tawaki de shukchumbu dinde cha de res.
And so, hold on, I'm trying to get these to stop. Let's see here. So, and the reason that this is such a massive paradigm shift is, you know, in the West, we have built our society on this idea of greed and success. And so we've got schools that are based on competition, we've got corporations, it's about who can get the most money.
Tanyima do cha shona lobta do ina re cha shadu gala su da dendur kyanga ke shi ras angi thoshu sulig do dende to ta che tanda chong da dende imbaina pesha mangshu su su tu do la jura ngui mangshu su sa tu do dende chin dendur kyanga cha diyo dongam da dende su diyo ras.
So a lot of the ills of Western society are coming from this basic belief about human beings.
Tila dutta tanda nyema samsu dikhare dongam da tensim da dende kyanga ras da tanda dende taji gyun en khali khali da nupcho gi tanda ta su dumshi jura khali khali gyor dugu resti.
So that's why research like this is so groundbreaking, because it's showing that we do actually have this capacity for compassion and kindness, and many researchers are arguing that that capacity is stronger than our capacity for greed.
Tanda dende gi niba jura tanda ngazu chamda tsewa da dende gi niba di changma lingye yore la di tanda keju di chimba dil durwaina tanda densem da dongam da dendel durwaina yangchi ro kya waina phaju di che yore la ni shigi ras chamje da dende.
So I'm just curious, I want to ask all of you, and how does these two different views of human beings, this idea that we have this one side of us as greed and competitive, the other side is compassion and kindness, how does that work with your beliefs in terms of what our capacity for human?
The migi niba ro laura da di cha shawana tanda ngara zu ina ni she swas chik di dongam da tensim korshe ra chik di chamda tsewa da dende korshe ras ningje da dende kor dinya ani di kor la khiran zu samsu khariyus migi ta rangshi la ora.
Is it something that's even considered? Is that Tibetan Buddhism considers? Thinks
Dende
about?
to la khiran zu chijo chigi yorwes. Yes, we do.
You do, okay. And so what is the belief about human beings in Tibetan Buddhism?
Dila du da draw mi la na rangshi khanri me nupcho ki she sa dende yorlan in khiran zu tanda nangshu ni khandi roji shi yores mi rangshi roji la ora. Chamda ningje. So all human beings want happiness and not suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And the nature of human being is like based on love and compassion.
Ah, it is. So that's our natural nature.
Tanganzu rangshi di chamda ningje re la wo ras. So not just human beings, even other animals have love and compassion.
Ah, okay. So seeing these videos of primates helping others is not surprising then.
So chezan keran ju ida mijibu mare semje shimbala yor la dugala mola piu de ju chik chik robo che dikin ju hangsang ma sues hangsang yo maras. No, it's not surprising.
Okay, all right. It is to the West.
Hangsang ma so la kin ju ina nupcho de ju hang shu sang rest de thonde. Lenge mare la ora yinzo. Dongam da tensim de. So the innate qualities of human being is love and compassion. It's not greed or competition.
It is. Okay, it isn't.
It's not. So she said like when people start thinking like later on in their life, I want this and that and all these things, it leads to greed and competition.
Okay.
So it's not an innate quality.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate the explanation. Okay. So I want to tell you about another study that was done. This is about encouraging kindness. So because in the West we have this idea that we have two sides to us. We have kindness and compassion, and we have anger and greed and selfishness. And the idea is, how do we encourage that side for compassion and kindness to come out in ourselves?
Tanda mi nupcho tawaina ni ra ni ran shila duchik di khare tanda ya icha di tanda chamda ningje di yores thana shi khunzo chi khari chi yor launa tensem da tanda rangdo da di changma su di ra khongdo da di changma dila du dinni khandi yar ki tangor sangyure ya di ya wecha di sam di ya gi tan sam tong yores di nganzo khandes chi tu res di pe ora ya par gu yora di khande pel tu res,
Because we believe that the side that we cultivate is the side that is going to be stronger, obviously.
dila du ngaran su khari la shuk gya na di ani shuk cheru du ras keju ni do tanda shi ju ni dine khandila ngaran su tunang do shuk ma te na di ani shuk cheru do di du yor ras.
So this was a study again that was done with 18-month-old children.
Ta di shimju chisa jora di khari nyam du cher la na sula cher la dawa chubge logic da cha cha yora po tende jil ta chi res.
So a child was brought into the lab and was shown just one of these pictures.
Ta po di ta je khana thile ani de sha cha jela khar chi la na par shi do par den jo reme reme chin tung res.
So the child might have seen this picture of two dolls facing each other, or just one doll, or two dolls facing away from each other, or blocks.
Ta par tung ra po dila khari tung la na par chik na khari re chimu che ni khanyam do te do pha su ni ga kha tere che do den de tung res ani chik na khari tung la na chimu che chik ran sha do ni mi do che chik yores ali be go chik yo che chik de la ni che ni ga kha pha su te jo che sumba de la khari la na tanda che diga and do tup shi den de ran sha she res den ni ani shiwa del khari sha la na tanda ali be go ni che ina khorani khari chi de la na kha tere ma che gap pha su tu jura den de chin de res.
And again, the child was just shown the picture for maybe about 30 seconds or so.
Ta par den zo tuen du khagas tuen khagas ringlo khagas tuen la na karche sumju tuen res.
So, and what they found was that the children who were shown the picture of two dolls facing each other, they were 3 times more likely to spontaneously help the researcher after seeing the picture.
Ta pu dil karche sumju ringal par tuen la sa par kesi khola par den de tuen wa na thangbo di cha na albe go ni khatsu tai jo sta den de ta cha jela ani khorang gi jela ta du gola nyamship chinge dila robo che ma chi res ko.
So for us, this was really extraordinary because obviously 18 months is before a child can read, and all they saw was just a picture.
Dila du da che gi ro ru chi la robo che thanda dila du gola ta lo chup ke lo dunda daw chup ke la du lo chik da chara pu chunju shu cha du ras an par chu bu teni shari gi lo ai den shingyo maran da rimu den de teni pari den tu res konjula.
So encouraging kindness is simple, but then they also did research on how kindness actually makes us feel, again with very young children, before the children really are socialized.
An tanda chamje la jora di nga zo ani so hande ji chogu sorchugu me jora di kor la yan ta ji res.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'm going to show you yet another video.
Ta ya longe tunju shimbash tu yes.
So yes, and this is, again, this took place in a lab, and you'll see there will be an experimenter who's right here who brings out a bowl and a monkey, a stuffed monkey.
Ta thanda dinala khari chela ni longi nal khari thungur lawana taje chingi mi jora nyamship chingi khoran che an dinyam do alipe go thanda kyang shejo thanda sop piu rich do piu roj piu chik che an thana shi polo roj kin res kon.
And the researcher goes through 5 different steps, giving the child treats, and then asking the child to give a treat to the monkey, finding a treat, giving it back to the monkey. Maybe we could I'm just trying to think of how we could read these out loud. And then what the researcher was trying to do was see at what step was the child happiest.
Ta thanda dinal riba shido yorelas dinal khachir lawena pudik din la alipe go thanda piu di khilira di tseche di khili res an dila du gala pugu dila khar tigir lana nyamship chingi di chiri da dindi tigres di te du chiri di koranga jimba do na shi te ani di jela pugu dila piu dila chiri di te lana khar chig du tagres ya surangja le jora chiri dinde chini rimba minra mangbu shi tungres.
Let me think of how to do this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the video about 3 or 4 times, which is what a scientist would do, because what they're looking for is they're looking at the child's facial expressions. They're also looking for the sounds that the child makes, maybe some words that they say, to see when the child is actually displaying happiness.
Ta thanda pugudi taji chiwe kapsu kiranzu kari insha chiwre tsiri ba yinbe cha shawra dinde indu tsiri ba indu kala ta shimju chidu yang tayra yang sen se ta thengma shis ta gu res kenzu di longi thendi di dinal khari ta gu launa pugudi ta namju dram de tyungura ke gi gyuni namju tyungure thanam dongbe namju tyungure dinde gyuni ani pugudi kashu khadu chogu du yora di taro chis.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Karma to read through these, and they don't necessarily happen in this order in the video, but then I'd like you to watch the video and see where you think the child is displaying the most happiness.
Dilo di thanda dinala nirunga stidwa di thanda khorimdo di takta du mare la sine di thanda longye dina yores an kheran ju longye ta ga su khari ta gore pugu di kashu khadu namju khadu tyungye me jora kashu khadu sogu me di chegu yores an thangbo di kharslana chiba chungu lo ni samshila jeje gi tu nyembala gawa shikphul la sa tu nyembala gawa shikphul che tene chiba ther chiri ge phune sangma khongi reser the chiri ge tene ani chiri di sangma kherang gi relan la resra ani chiba ta shimbe kap jeje gi tu ther chiri chikphul ani chiri chik chiba thela tene jeje gi tu thela phul ser chiba thela yobe chiri chik jeje gi tu ther tu ser ta di rimba tharan ru marine da dinal tingura longena la koran la chiri te ani piula te lab che jora dinde todan di tharan ru resting.
So I'm hoping they'll be able to figure out when these steps are happening.
Ani thanda dinal te jush da di rimba khari me longen tani go sura di khari thambunyo dit nashi da ru mare la sine dinai di changma chang yores.
So again, we'll watch it probably 2 or 3 times. So the first time, just watch the video and see what's going on.
Ta thengwa sum tungi lara thangbo de la khari yorla na longye dina khari du ta chi bures.
Now I want you to meet my friend Monkey. Hello. Do you want to say hello? Can I have Monkey back? Hello. We're going to play a game.
Yeah.
Look, Monkey has a bowl just like you.
Yeah.
But both you and Monkey don't have any treats. Oh no, you don't have any treats and neither does Monkey. That's right. But look, I found even more treats and I'm going to give them all to you.
Cheese.
But, you know, I don't see any more treats. Will you give one to Monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh, yum, 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 yum.
Oh, then I need it.
And look, I found one more treat. Will you give it to Monkey?
Yeah.
Ooh, yum, 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 yum. Look, I found one more treat. I'm going to give this one to Monkey. Ooh, yum, 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 yum.
Any treats?
Okay. So do these steps make sense? Were you able to see when these steps were happening, or do you need it translated?
Di thanda del trisha josh da di rimba din thon soesa di longena la seu cha soesa. Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So we'll watch it one more time, and this time just really watch the child's expressions and when the child is expressing the most happiness.
Oh, ta di thanda rimba mangbu shi da dinala pugu di gawe namju mangbu tungu yora kashu khadu chu du di kheran taro chistina.
Now I want you to meet my friend Monkey. Hello. Do you want to say hello? has a bowl just like you. But both you and Monkey don't have any treats. Oh no, you don't have any treats and neither does Monkey. That's right. But look, I found even more treats and I'm going to give them all to you. But, you know, I don't see any more treats. Will you give one to Monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Ooh, yum, 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 yum.
Older than me.
And look, I found one more treat. Will you give it to Monkey?
Yeah.
Ooh, yum, 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 yum. Look, I found one more treat. I'm going to give this one to Monkey. Ooh, yum, 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 yum.
Treats.
Okay, all right. So a little hard to see the child's expressions, but all right. So anyone want to say when, out of all of these steps, when you think the child was the happiest?
다 단다 림바 몽부시도 디나라 다 보고 남줄 때다 갖고 차기도 왔어요 시람도 알았어 이내다 단다 림바디 몽부시도 디나라니 보고디 가슈 가두로 소손스케나죠
Could you tell?
찍찍찍인다 어 Tini building sadu. So when the child gives the treat to the monkey and when the monkey eats.
Okay, but which time is it? The child's own treat, or is it the treat that the experimenter found and gave to the child to give to the monkey?
다 지리 간디 림바 간디 코르시요레스. 부구디 코랑기 테주라 온디 라기요레야나 단다 딱제 싱이 디기테니안 파테 레이다 디레스. The one which he gives, the child gives to the monkey.
Gives their own treat to the monkey. Yes, right. Yeah, exactly. So again, do we really need science to show us this? But about 80% of the time, the child displayed happiness when they gave their own treat to the monkey.
딜라디다 단다 디나세오 통구도스 부구디 코랑기 지리 디넨 따직레니 단다 비우딜 테두 가슈로스 팅구도스 남주.
So just giving the example that kindness has its own reward built in it, which is happiness.
딜라디 참제다 드웨 코랑 차가지 요레스랑시기 가르차 디올라우나 디기디 차기로스 팔로로 직 참제로 띵와이나 수수 디기 소유로스.
So this is the result of that experiment. So here, these are the levels of happiness, and then these are these steps here. And you'll see that when the child gives their own treat to the puppet, that was where the happiness level was the highest.
다 단다 코랑기 딱제시도 디 균엔 코란세 다 티리고라 티리고두갈 단다 디 타마시도 티리 토쇼 컨디차샤 타타 디르도 한마 디르도 디 가리 뚱고 라와나 단다 가가스 가우에메 가조 디 뚱고라 토쇼 가디 요 라와이나 보고 디 코랑기 지리디 단다 알베고 딜테 갑수죠 디 아니 코랑 가슈 소여스란데 레스.
So they did an experiment with adults, which was similar in that they took a group of adults and they divided them into two groups, and each group was given, each person in each group was given $20. I don't know what that would be.
다 단다 베순로 지샤나 디 보고를 따지치라 미 gemba tharma dinjulai 따지치 레스 디날 가르치려는 미 망부스냠도 디 안 코란수야 루가니라 샤이레스 안 미레레라 가르치려는 고민이슈 레스.
So, and the one group of adults was instructed to go spend the money on somebody else, and the other group of adults was instructed to spend the money on themselves.
다 루가니 딜라 미레레라 가즈레 고민이슈요라 이슈도 루가치라 카르라 라와이나 페샤디 미심발 페주치라 저라 미심발 땅라이레스 아니 수조 딜라 루가니오 딜 카르라 라와이나 페샤디 수술 조손 땅라이 저라 딜라이레스.
And when the adults came back, they gave them a survey that looked at their levels of happiness. And can you guess which group was the happiest?
다 따지시라. 따지시서 절 수다 그런저 페주치란 땅라. 고민이슈디 조선 땅라 아니 수 로서여절라. 따지시도가란 키란저 삼출라. 루카니니 칸디다. 나 가수 나 키베 체주라. 칸딜 토여 로도 루카니니. 나. 신라 저디. So giving, spending it on others?
Yep. Yeah. That's a big deal in the West, to realize that you're happier when you spend money on others.
딜라디 딜레디 한다 넘절 차셔나 카고슈 차게 레레스 카이난 미션 라테니 수수 가 초그 라이저라 딜데 소디요 마라스 군주.
So yesterday we looked at pictures of brain scans, and I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but this is the machine. It's called an MRI machine, and this is how they take pictures of the brain, what's going on inside your brain.
단다 디 단다 먼저 MRI 스캔 레베 파르린 시기도 디 투제 디네 로즈기나 니 파탄다 레바디 미 수부디 마타 안 레베 파르린 요레스 딜 MRI 스캔 단다 카블렌 얌더기 단다 파르린 레조라 디 차기레스.
So what the researcher will do is this person is the person who's being experimented on, and they'll go inside this tube actually.
단데 투제 나라 부구도시도 디 부구도 나라 미디 마탄기 요레스 투제 규니.
And there might be some TV screens in there. Maybe they'll show pictures of images, or they'll ask the person to do some sort of meditation activity, or they'll play some sort of game on the computer screen. And whatever the experiment is, then they'll be able to take pictures of the activity going on in the brain.
The tujet nal midi matangra tang sayo di bugudi nang lo khari law na thanda nyinti do computer ro de parle mangbu shures and dil ya ta du khashi kabre khari tungur law na par da indi tungur res kabre thanda chimut damre che da dinde yora rig damre kabre khari la na gom yable ni de khoranzul kuje chi yores.
So what they've discovered is, so this is what the brain scans look like, and what they've discovered is this one in particular, these are what, if you remember yesterday, we talked about the reward centers of the brain. So ones that give us a boost of dopamine, which gives us that feeling of euphoria.
Dila dutta di lebe par lingra par lendi par ro dende ro chayu res an sujo la tasio yajush do di lebe khu khandi chadur law na ngju chaga da dende dewe lebe ki thanda chashi di kujen thi res ni dopamine la di thanda dudul malur la ra di rig di chadur res di.
So again, looking at the reward network and the pain network. So that was the reward network that lights up. But one thing I want to say about the reward network is it doesn't always light up just when we do things that are good, like when we're kind or we give things to other people. It also go ahead, and then I'll finish.
Thanda chagai salam lash do di thanda salam di kujen the jura khatuina ngazu gi chik yaga cheda chamje tu da dinde ta dewa chagi yorela na chagi yo mares.
What they found is, how many of you have smartphones? Some of them have iPhones? Okay. So they found that people with smartphones, you'll get notifications when somebody texts you or sends you an email. It'll ping you.
Thanda kiranzo khabar mangje thingdu khabar do ki yora dila du thanda kiranzo la di nesu din leo na pardo tang yigi ro le chio na lamsa thong da gangla kiran le yigi ji jorsha kiran la nesu ji jorsha la ni dinde ro thingyu yoro was.
So what they found is that every time you get a text or you get some notification of an email, the reward center also lights up. So you get that little boost of dopamine, that little rush of euphoria.
Thanda suzo khabar na jik nesu din leo na yasharung da dina shi thanda ngaju talebe na la thanda di tujo ga so kharchi yorla na dopamine mal le du gala par na shi ya thong da dinde gudu yores.
So people can actually get addicted to that dopamine rush. So your phone can literally be addicting because you're getting that rush of dopamine every time you get pinged.
Dinde ta thanda dopamine mal le jora di thanda di da dewa chagi yorla ra dila den kabre khari yorla dila langsho ne ngajo khabar yang se sita shu dos.
So then researchers have also done a lot of research on what keeps us from being kind to each other. And this is really, really fascinating. So I'll go through these. So one is lack of resources. If you see somebody who is suffering or needs some help and you don't feel that you have the money or the time or the ability to help that person, then oftentimes we are not kind and compassionate towards that person.
Dilita chamje gogen shiyora dinala chi khari shiyora na thunge shemba di pe shawana khandir lawana phajo di kangi the da ngui da dindigi kangi the de na penjo kangi ton susu penjo myo chen thuzu da changma madani phajo robo chima thu aina an tanda chamje gi tanda di jora di ma shen ru de jora di ani kangi the res.
So another thing is if people don't feel safe, if you feel physically unsafe or if you feel emotionally unsafe, then we're less likely to help another person as well.
Thana shi nyenga choi nar do chi dile susu subu da dewa lubu da dewa inare semsor da dewa inare ra dinde ani nyenga cho dewa ina shemba dile robo chetu yo marwas.
So then also a lack of time. So if we feel like we're constantly in a rush and we don't have the time to help, then we don't help others.
Thana shi thuju madang ina yimbara an shemba dile robo chima to adi sangma chamji go gin cha de res.
So, and the experiment that they found with the lack of time was actually quite interesting. So they took a group of university students.
Tanda thuju meo la shto dinala ni koran so itaji chidugala da chugla lobnya khangi lobtru khashi dures.
So the students were in a classroom and they were instructed that they had to get to another classroom on the other side of the university.
An koran so la khari lar lawaina kiranzo di jinghan dine ni ani lobnya khangi jinghan shemba jora dilom phajuna dogu res lam la res.
The first group of students was told they had to get there very, very quickly.
The Quran so la rugachi la kharishi or lawaina phagila chopu shu dogu yor das chopu shu jorgu res la res.
On the pathway from one classroom to the other classroom, the researcher had put what's called a confederate, so a person who knew what the study was happening, and that person fell down as the students were going from one classroom to the other.
The di shola thanda tagje da dewe thanda Quran zo tagje chingi ni michi kharchi lawaina Quran zo doe kapsu michi di ma riyo na shi chiyo res Quran zo do dewe kapsu an di kapsu an pugudin zo kharchi du ta jora Quran zo doe kapsu ma ri res michi.
So what they were looking for was those students who were going from one classroom to the other, would they actually stop and help that person who fell down?
The Quran zo doe kapsu langa del michi riyo thongura di ridu kala lobtru den zo gi rokba chigdu chigimdu di tagyo res.
So, and they found that the group that was in a rush did not stop to help the person.
Diladu midin pugden zo kharla rengi ni Quran zo thela shu yara thuju jogu thuju shira yo mare pha jogu shu jorgur le dugala thuju medugala Quran zo mi madda wene ge thong wene ge robo chigi mare to shig res khadu.
So they had a second group of university students and they gave them the same task to get across campus to another classroom, but this time they told them you had as much time as you needed to get to that classroom.
Ta ruga niwa jora yan lobtru ruga dil kharlar lawaina jingha dine phajol jorgu ge res an thuju kheba yo maris khadu jona digir la jo susuk thuju khagas len digre lan Quran zo la this chigo chiju res.
And of course those students, when they encountered the person who fell down in front of them, they were more likely to stop and actually help the person.
Ta thanda dile thuju susuk khaju len la ra digapsu doe kapsu midi ma rio thondi khonju khachire ko ni ani robo chigres midilo.
So that's how we know that lack of time is often what keeps us from being kind to others.
Dila do chik thuju meo ina ya shin la chamje tuya da robo che jura di tangyo chetu yo mareslani di chi khagores.
So another reason that people may not be kind is we don't think that they're deserving of help. We think that they did something that was actually quite stupid, and we think they deserve their suffering.
Dila do da rochi rin me balanti da dila do Quran su da kangi yo ina Quran su gi swesha jure da robo chi goya yo mare la jura di tawa khe di chagyo res chi di gani thanda chamje kogin chi di cha de res.
So then another one is lack of identification with the other person. So if a person is coming from a different culture or a different religion or maybe has a different skin color or whatever it might be, if we don't identify with that person, we're less likely to actually help them.
Dila do phaju mi de bat susu da loga rosh thong aina khado pabe do ni ne chashan re ani susu gi cholu da khari chani the loga rosh thong aina ya digi kogin roji sugi res pha chamse di che di.
So, and then another one is power imbalance. This is very new research, and this one is also interesting.
Ta thanda thupa di kharslana ani wangja ancha manyum bardo di an thanda saw shu cha di res nyamshi di.
What they have found is the more powerful a person feels, their empathy levels actually go down.
Thanda di jura thanda wangcha di khagas thoro doina digas ki thanda kidung nyamnyong ge di so jura ma chagi res nyunga thong res.
Whereas as a person feels less powerful, their empathy levels go up.
태어나 시 왕자디 마차 와이나 태어나 시 단다디 단다 기도 냠용기 좋아주라 야 파르기요레스.
And one of the ways they studied this was in California, where I live. They had a researcher stand on a street corner.
단다 캘리포니아에서 기아사 캘리포니아 차기요라스 아리나. 딜레도 코란소이 가르치를 나와이나 랑가 이탈라 아니 단다 냠십 칭에도서 야랑니 데요레스.
And what they did, they had another person step out into the street as if they were going to cross the street.
디나니 미치 가르치를 나와이나 다 랑가 디네니 파 꾀주라 디니 랑가 찍니 심바들 꾀위어도 타 찍니 심바를 꾀위어도 치요레스.
And the researcher who was standing there watched the cars to see which cars would actually stop for the person who was crossing the street.
다 미치 디카체레 랑가 파주니 꾀라다 파주니 수조 꾀 인도갈라 디미디 콤바지니 두고요레스 디르두갈 아니 냠십 칭이디 탈타데라 가리타기 올라와나 랑가디갈 가리 융거를 모라 융거라 모라 간디게니 미디 콤바지도 까게 유메주라 디타지 시요레스.
And what they found was that the people who were driving the very expensive cars were less likely to stop for the person in the middle of the street.
딜라투타 모라 릭 망보요라 모라 콩체 딘데 릭주라 딘데 릭 딘조이 카치 올라와나 까야 카치 요레스 미디 콤바지 드로도 통고요라.
So again, it's that idea that as the power goes up, so thinking that a person with a lot of money in the West, that means that that person is more powerful. So again, your power levels are high, your empathy levels go down.
Dila duta tanda nupchonal chashawana wangcha chela du khandi jil tsiurlana yubenjo yaga yudinzo wangcha che tsigiras. Dila duta wangcha thoa yudinzo tanda kidu nyamyongi choadi mama yorlan dinis shigures.
And one of the reasons they think this is because there's this idea that if you have a lot of money, if you're very powerful, you don't need other people.
Chi Quran sui ta chu khari yor lawaina susolo wangcha da yudindi yoina shimba mi shimba gu mare la jura di taw dikhigures.
Whereas if you're less powerful, you actually need to depend on other people more. So your empathy levels go up because you need to get along with people.
Chi wangcha mewaina ma wangcha chungaina ra ma yoina ni mi shimba mangbu nikera mangbul tengu gures shimba ni roba mangbu shlengu gures cheza ani kidu nyamyongi choa Quran zola thoa yures.
So then the last one is this idea of emotion overload. So this idea that if you're with somebody who is suffering and they're expressing a lot of very difficult emotions,
diladu shimba ji kange shu the deo che ani samsur mangbu shu sta Quran tingu ra dilis chinge juyo wainas.
if you yourself cannot handle those difficult emotions, then you get what's called emotion fatigue, and so it's harder for you to actually help the other person.
Chesata dinde samsur kange shu symbol kange shu yo aina susu kange dungi nyang deora diladu shimba la pharo wo chima thua dinde chagures chamje gogin chik di chadures.
So any questions or thoughts or observations about anything that we've talked about with kindness, or any of these ideas of what keeps us from being kind?
chamje da deota chamje gogin ro thanda dina sheswa diro res kyanju samju khari yos 닝제 닝제 탕체 발라나 가래 가래 lagyo res la ore. So emotion overload, what do you mean by that?
Emotion overload. So so oftentimes in like a healthcare setting, in a hospital, a patient will be very sick and will have very difficult emotions.
Ta peshana la ora da di tishige du ta neba juya chas mengana la khora neba shu ta nazaji kangi shu yo che thanda kangi mangbush kangi nyong de roas neba di.
And oftentimes emotions are actually contagious. So if you see somebody who is scared or sad or fearful, oftentimes that will bring up that same emotion within you.
Dilo do khora semsul la kangi yorada na didu kangi lira di yo ma she ani shembaji gi thanda shinang da ngang da dinde yungi mi yo na dige semsul rig do ta contagious la go yo na shi dinde yo res phajo chhoe di anchel susur le jora semsul dinde chung yo res.
So if you're a doctor or a nurse taking care of a very sick patient, and the patient is exhibiting a lot of suffering, and you yourself are starting to feel those same emotions, if you don't know how to handle those emotions, you can get burnt out, it can be very stressful in that situation. So you can get overloaded with emotions.
Tachashana never the dinzu tangi suli member the mesha dinzu ligura. Koran sui tanda semsur dinzu ta never dinzu semsur chabu shooting yura. Digeri the Koran sul tanda guayo nang shiur lara. Susui tanda semsur di tangzin chima tuaina. Dinde guayo chani susul semnya da dinde kangi shooting yures.
So, and the challenge is that someone like a doctor or a nurse is encountering this kind of situation again and again and again and again on a daily basis.
Cheza member the mesha dinzu yura. Never chick mara never mangu shoot out or a kangi you jangle taguras. Dilla do semso digate that dinde yungi midinzul katuna. Dewachi do kiuras.
So these difficult emotions build up in that person, and after a while it can cause tremendous, if the person doesn't know how to let those emotions go, it can cause anxiety, it can cause depression, it can cause a lot of mental illness.
Dila duta member the menshap dinzo never mangul tadu wala semsur di Quran tangzi chimatu na di le li ro ta yogapso di mallo mata oina dile chigan chik nembe jani ani semnye da yimu da dige jura kangi mangu shoot tig res semgam da de.
So what's happening in the West is this idea of mindfulness meditation is being brought into settings like this and being taught to doctors and nurses so that they can learn how to separate themselves from the emotions that they're experiencing and just let them go, which gets rid of the emotion overload.
Dila du thanda semsur thadi khu ala ishto dila du thanda member da menshap dinzo liyor lara di mata semsur dinzo mallo tang lara chigle sa jela Dilo tan la khari phingyur lawana themba nyarsha da dinde ngamlin chesh to thanda nupchola dige gen phingyures kisi dinde machu aina semsor chigan chikne be gya deona thanda di kangi di thiyures.
Makes sense? Yeah. Okay. All right.
So ucha sesati. Yeah.
Any other questions or observations or thoughts?
Samchu da ta toshib da thenang da ani khera ju thiwa dinde US. Khari cheje? Oh. 도주 차샤나 간대로. Dinde gal tagji chigi yores nyamdo. So you have studied about tagji chi yores landra di thola. So you have like you said we have experimented on love, compassion and all these things, happiness. So like on contrary to happiness, like on other the docho lana khandi doluge digi gi docho khari dunge gan the digi gi docho lana dunge da din ro shenang da din jo. So you said we have done experiment on happiness. Likewise, have scientists done experiments on opposite of happiness like fear, suffering and all these things?
Yes, they have. In fact, that's the study of happiness is actually new. It's only 15 years old. Before that, it was all about fear and suffering and what we would call abnormal psychology, so what causes mental illness.
Tanda kirangi shio di taji chejura tanda shenang da dungye da dinzu kala taji nyema ni chedures. Tanda digi ga taji cheshdo di saw chadures khazingwe le shesos lo chonga sam duwe larwas dungye da ngangda da dinzu yora tanda shenang da dinzu kana ngoma ni taji chedures. Dinzu sangma kharina chugor launa ta sem tukyon ro yora tanda gende maim be sem kham jura abnormal psychology lana dinde na chugures. Di kana nyema ni taji chedigures. Denzo lana khari shenang da dungye denzo gyu mo sung to your restlani. So you said you have experimented on fear and suffering and all these things. So have they identified the source of all these negative emotions? So without identifying the source, how can you experiment on all these things?
It's a really good question. It's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know that they have actually identified one source of fear and suffering. Instead, A lot of the research is showing that, going back to the idea of secure attachment, it's that initial relationship that you have with that caregiver that really forms your view of the world. And if you don't believe the world is safe and you can't trust other people, a lot of fear and suffering comes from out of that.
다 귤라니 주직 디렐라니 딘데다 탄다 퇴요 마르와시네 콘조 침주 치두지 카리니 라오나 탄다 대숭다 제외 착심 주야 대숭 착심 라이디 디 따두걸 춘주니 보고 디다다 보고 아마이나레 따종칭 소종칭이 주라 디니 파라 데어야 부차이나 같이 라서 보고 디젤라 신라 이제 칭에다 수수기 코리오 딘줄라다 릴레 친데 퉁에 딘데 차기 레슬라로스 키시디 보고다 소종칭에 파라라 데어야 부탄다 착심 디 말레와이나 보고 딜젤라 미신라 이제 레야 강에제 And
a lot of suffering also comes from, in the West, we are not taught how to handle our emotions in a healthy way. And so many people are very afraid of having to feel their emotions. They're afraid of things like grief and sadness and anger because they don't know how to work with them in a healthy way.
다단당아주 눕조로 차샤와나 수수기 셈술라 당진 체스도 디 당진 체 딱다 체투요 마레스 먼젤 디 강에 튀요레스 더페샤나 단당앙 삽도다 콩도도다 디게 리스타 셴난다 디조 칸데스 당진 치부고메디 시기요 마레스
이 영화에 그때 다만 그 리니로 쓰다지는 분야가 여기 지역에 주는 거죠. 그 소장체에 페이시에는 기사님들 영화는 하지만 뭐 하시라 아무든지 그걸 소장만 전부 제목도 저기 선배 용이에요. 지차도만 아무리 그걸 소장 하시는 거 그래 상처를 그냥 끊기로 그냥 뭐라 이 상처를 어떤 그냥 나는 그거를 어떤 식으로 나는 나한테 그런 소리 너무 신기해. 사실 그래서 제가 님하고 수술 하신 중이시라 제가 님하고 그래 나중에 님보셔는 제가 그냥 같이 상처를 한번 듣던 되게 그래 남자 님보셔는 그냥 배우셔 그래서 제가 님 수술 하신 중이시라 그래서 한번 있었던 말은
So when we look at all the individuals, so all of them are brought up by their parents, and we can say that all the parents, they try to give cultivate good things in their child. So they try to show the right path in all these things. But still there are some people who even under the care of such parents, they naturally they tend to be more having a bad behavior and all these things. So.
Right.
It doesn't solely depend on how your parenting and all these things.
Right, exactly. And this is the limitation of psychology. And I would say that Western psychology is limited because it is it's very grounded in, what would you call it? Kind of the beliefs of the world. You know, if you look at Eastern spirituality, you have the idea of karma and reincarnation, which Western psychology does not take into account. And I would say that Eastern psychologists who hold those beliefs would say that you have to take that into account as well. But Western psychologists aren't there yet.
The Kawanga Chile, the Dindiora, Digal Dishi Ras, and Tanda Nuchogi, and the Semgam report, the Koransugi, Di, and the Dishi Mara, Di and Koransugi, the Mutumio to Chagi res.
So, does that make sense?
So she's saying it's, so she feels that it depends on the individual.
It depends on the individual.
Individual itself, the
right.
nature of the individual.
Rather than the environment?
Yeah, the Korea Lamade was Susu Rangla Laguruas. So it doesn't depend much on the parenting and all these things. mostly it depends on the individual itself.
So that's actually a really great question, because this is something that psychologists struggle with, is this question of nature versus nurture. How much nature is it dependent on the individual, on their genes, on their biological makeup, versus nurture, how much is dependent on the environment that the child grows up in. And what they found is that it's actually both. Both affect how that child, the development of that child.
Diladu thandang azu semkham rikbana lai dini takda dikor shigyo res chik di nature lana rangshi ra bogdi da result shyo ner bogdi rangshi shyo ner di tsugyo res chik di nurture lana sojong khande chigyo mejura dilaral khuryu da raligyo ras an thanda khari nyer law na niga khechungu chagyo res bogu sarlong la di niga shugen chigyo la res
dilal taji sia khonso de kal ha ya taji sia kal ha ya dini thosi thonda hajemen hasho khama di kyong ma di ma dewa na to ko ne chanya 수술 안신기 중에서 안신기 중에 그래서 따진 그래서 그거 안 준비해서 디 가wan 내서 가wan 준비해서 디 수술하는 거 때문에 맞아 진짜 그래. 디 많이 준비하면 디 가서 배송해 안신기야. 수술 디 근소 세 수술하는 거 가wan 준비도 그 안신기 준비는 디 같은 거 가wan 준비는 가wan 준비는 해서 같이 제
수수랑이 기치고 res 다 치로 체리바이 치도 마레스라
제리가 딱지 제네야 톤을 집어도 아니 수술하니 톤이라 하는 대화는 미안해 내가 딱 보면 수술한 게 먼저 정말 준비를 해라 뒤 준비되게 진수 가만히 되기나 그 가만히 되게 준비나 계속 딱지 제서 결국 집에 넣어서 딱지 제나 제서 결국.
So if you want to experiment on the falls, so what is the source of all this like fear and greed and all these things? So we have to look into the individual itself.
We have to
look into the individual itself, and we have to see what are the causes that led the individual to become such and such. So
okay.
So we have to look for that source or the cause.
Right, yes, exactly. And so this is what this is the limitation of psychology, because it's difficult to know what there are so many potential causes. Again, and it can be environmental, but it also can be internal, and Western psychology would be limited to the biology, the neuroscience of our bodies.
Tanda semgam rigbal dik chikange tigyo ras diladuta tanda gyu khanin relanu gyu di mangbu yongsi ras ta tanda ngarozu nupcho ni keje shyo ina mangcha ta kengwe da mi subu da ta rikse da semkham da digang shigyo ras an khoryu da di changma nyam do de gyu mangbu yongsi res ne tanda nupcho gi ta ina dange me ro chagyo ras ta chesa ro di cho khonjo kharil shishan shigyo re kengwe da wangza cheri da semkham da dil tan shigyo ro lor
이쌤은 빌려줬는데 가만히 보고만 빌려 하나 수이도 가지고 엘레바들은 다리 집에 가서 충전 것을 해발라 가서 정말 아무리 소리가 가서 잠든 채 어디가 충전 것을 두기 저기 갔다 가지고 세트도 같이 재밌대 봐 딜레 거기 같이 뒤도 신도라 완전히 저리야 책도 정말 쉬는 거 발동을 양포 안신기도 차셔야 수치를 받으지 안신기 고쳐고 있는 거다 민철로 그냥 저기 중 중이시야
So still under a good care, under good parenting, the child after some time like naturally tends to behave in a more like wrathful way, or like they tend to be bad. So we have to look into account about what are the causes that made the child to do so.
Yes.
So what made the child to become bad?
Right, yes, exactly. Things. So yes, yeah, and we do. I mean, psychologists do look at that in terms of what are the causes.
Tagi yores di gyu khari reshala jora da phaju di dukcha chiyo na di gyu kharil te ni cha shala jora di segi yores tagi yores.
So
no,
I mean,
she's satisfied.
Okay, all right, okay, good, yes. I mean, but, we look at things like at the parenting, at the schooling, at the friends, the peers that the child has. So, because there's so many things that can influence why a child might be have bad behavior.
Diladuta shiju dujar dinde tungu yoina di gyu khari shala dukal ke mangbu chigala khoranzu shisha ne mangbu chil seyo res phama choni na re thobo da thomo da ta khari na mangbu chil ta ni seyo res khoranzu 박자기 레스 라니 님에 So we in Buddhism believe in past life and future life, right? So in past life we talk about if the child displays such behavior, it's all because of the imprints that the child has inculcated in his or her previous lives.
Right. Yes.
So
yeah. Exactly.
It's because of those imprints.
Yeah, and that's I think one of the challenges with Western psychology is that Western psychologists just can't go there, and it's hard for but I think that, I mean, I have a background in Eastern spirituality, so it's very easy for me to go there, but Western psychologists just have a hard time.
Tanda kirangi she bhagja gewang amalan shigyo ras dila du ta nupcho gi semkham ribo khoran chola di khakbu shu chagyo resdi tishe goro yo mara dila du khakbu pe chagyo ngara imba ina tanda shacho gi tanda semkham ribo gyapchong di yes chezanga kirangi kharila di kugudusta.
And I think you wait 50, 100 years, and I think these kinds of ideas will start to become more accepted in Western psychology. And I think when they are, I think that's when you're going to really see a paradigm shift in our understanding of human nature.
Diladu gela hora khari samgutlan longapju thukju jena ta di nanglola tanda sharcho gi tawaj yora samsudi di lem go chuni khonju ngulen chiwaina chirwas chidu gala ngazu tanda semkham da di kola ta su jora di tomshi di kyo shush thei re samgudus.
Yeah. So yes. Right there with you. No. Really valid points. So yes, yeah. All right. Thank you
It's
all.
okay, she's saying it's okay.
It's okay. Okay, great. Okay, good. All right, thank you.
She's the judge.
Ah, good.